How to survive the adolescent era. I can remember just yesterday, we were just a group of carefree kids, playing with toys and dreaming of fairy tales. And then, without warning, the ground beneath you begins to shift. The carefree days of childhood are suddenly replaced by a maelstrom of emotions, hormones, and expectations that threaten to engulf you. Your body is being transformed in ways you never thought were possible, as if your very cells are being rewritten. Your relationships are morphing too. Friendships are tested. Romantic feelings emerge and family dynamics are redefined. As you struggle to make sense of this chaos, your sense of identity begins to unravel. Who are you really? What do you believe in? Where do you fit in? The questions swirl, relentless and terrifying. You're caught in a vortex of self-doubt, peer pressure, and societal expectations, with no clear escape route in sight. And you begin to ponder, am I the only one going through all these? Dear one, you are not alone in this tumultuous journey of self-discovery. The trials of adolescence can be overwhelming, like navigating a stormy sea without a compass. One misstep can seem catastrophic, threatening to derail the bright future you've always envisioned. But what if I told you there's a beacon of hope to guide you through these treacherous waters? What if you could unlock the secrets to riding the waves of self-doubt, peer pressure, and uncertainty, emerging stronger, wiser, more radiant on the other side? To survive the adolescent era, one has to focus on maintaining healthy habits, open communication with trusted adults, managing emotional fluctuations, finding a supportive peer group, exploring your identity, and understanding that this is a time of significant change and growth, requiring patience and self-care. Here are some key strategies to help overcome this daring adolescent era. 1. Self-care. Cassie says that I'm beginning to gain some weight. Is that true? See, my boyfriend just told me that my cheeks have dropped drastically like that of an old woman. It's true, right? What do I do about it? Should I quit eating? And my dad too. He wants me to become a medical doctor, but it's clearly not my thing. I want to become an actress. But my dad doesn't seem to buy any of that. On the other hand, my friends are complaining that I eat too much. And that's the reason why my shape isn't well defined as theirs, whereas I eat just twice on a daily basis. Jeez, it's all so frustrating. Chill. Take a deep breath. Relax. Pick up yourself and take a walk in the cold, comfy and relaxing breeze of the night. Next, take a chair. Relax under the stars. Fine, they all say this about you. What do you say about yourself? What do you think about yourself? Who do you envision yourself to be? Sure, Dad says he wants you to become a doctor, but you and I know it's not really your thing. So what do? Should we just ignore him while he talks, or should we pack out of the house? Or should we also lash at him the way he does to us when he's talking about your future career, that is? So many thoughts in mind, right? But have you considered sitting down and talking to him calmly? Let's say he's the type that insists that his decision must stand. Tell someone you know he'll listen to and explain things to them. Maybe an aunt or your mom or one of those close friends, even his boss too, It depends. And concerning the issue of weight gain, shape changes and all, come on, it's normal. You're growing up, for crying out loud. Do you wish to remain a toddler forever? Even if you don't really have a thing for being chubby, a few exercises could help and not starve yourself. Remember, all is real. Check across the web. You'll see people who are goddamn happy about those same looks that you're complaining about. The darker toned skin. Check Diamond White's pics on the web. Or even the chubby shape you hate so much. Have you seen Paloma Elisa and how she stylishly styles her amazingly chubby curves? The way her entire body movement screams, "Hi dude, it's all comfy in here." Still crying about having a small ass that people always complain about? There are so many others who wished they even had it. Now take a look at these people on the screen. They wished for things that you find so disgusting and uncomfortable. You must know that you're pretty, you're unique, and you're special. You mustn't be like them. Just prioritize healthy eating, sufficient sleep, occasional exercise and relaxation techniques to manage stress and emotional ups and downs. 2. Open communication. Inasmuch as this is almost impossible, especially for teens, it's also possible. You could talk openly with your parents though. Oh, that's a big no for some people, because you don't expect me to tell my dad that 60-year-old me is seeing star family, already has a girlfriend and have had intercourse for quite a couple of times. Come on, it won't work. Okay. How about trusting your teachers or even gym master? Hell no, they're definitely gonna scream it out to the entire class once I do something wrong, or I even go against the will. They might use it as a weak point for me someday. Something like, "Hello Arnold, put an eye on that your mate. I need certain information about him." Hell no, mister, I ain't doing any of that. I mean, it's not my thing. Being a spy, no way. Alright then, consider your secret being left out the bag. See, I can't trust them at all. I see. So what do you think about getting a guidance counselor? You could tell them anything about your feelings, challenges, concerns and all. It's just like you taking therapy classes. What do you think? Well, that ain't a bad idea, though I still think that my feelings, challenges are better with me, because anything can happen. Let's say someday I drive my mom nuts. She will get her all big and mighty connections and march straight to the counselor's office, and it's like, "Hey, you, what have you been teaching my son all summer?" Now the counselor, with fear of seeing herself surrounded with hefty licensed gunmen, could get all rid of daddish about every single encounter she's had with me. Really? What makes you think so? I'm beginning to feel that the problem is not about not having anyone to talk to, but it's your high level of distrust. To deal with that, stay back and listen to the number 3. In terms of relationships, effective communication is the backbone of any successful relationship. It's the thread that weaves together the intricate tapestry of emotions, thoughts, and experiences that bind two people together. Open communication is the key that unlocks the doors of understanding, empathy, and intimacy, allowing relationships to flourish and grow. Imagine a relationship as a beautiful garden, where both parent partners are the gardeners. Just as a garden requires nourishment, care, and attention to bloom, a relationship needs open communication to thrive. When both partners communicate effectively, they create a safe and supportive environment where they can share their thoughts, feelings, and desires. Open communication is not just about expressing oneself, it's also about actively listening to the other person. It's about creating a space where both partners feel heard, validated, and understood. When we listen attentively to our partner, we tend to show them that we value and respect their thoughts and feelings, and this in turn fosters a deeper sense of trust, intimacy, and connection. In any relationship, conflicts are inevitable, but it's about how we communicate during those challenging moments that can make all the difference. Open communication allows us to address issues head-on, to clarify misunderstandings, and to find common ground. By communicating effectively, we can transform conflicts into opportunities for growth, learning, and deeper understanding. Open communication also helps us to avoid assumptions and misunderstandings that can lead to hurt feelings and resentment. When we assume we know what our partner is thinking or feeling, we can create unnecessary tension and conflict. By asking open-ended questions, seeking clarification, sharing our own thoughts and feelings, we can avoid these pitfalls and build a stronger, more resilient relationship. In the end, open communication is the glue that holds a relationship together. It's the foundation upon which trust, intimacy, and love are built. By prioritizing open communication, we can create a relationship that is strong, vibrant, and fulfilling. A relationship that brings joy, laughter, and adventure to our lives. Build a support system. Confiding in people isn't really a must, but you have to clear some things out of your mind to make you quite free. Think of it like you emptying the trash can when it's full. It saves the house the entire stress of a fetid, smelling, and stenchy looking kitchen. Sharing most of your feelings, challenges, saves us from a whole lot. It frees the heart from unnecessary weight and pressure. Sharing our innermost feelings, thoughts, and emotions with others is really worth trying, although it's risky. I mean, life too is a risk. Living and struggling so hard when you know vividly well that any day, any time, death can come knocking. But does that stop us from struggling to carve a better future for ourselves? Obviously not. We just have to guide our ways. For example, if you see an incoming vehicle, you leave the way quickly so that it will not hit you. Also, when we notice that we're ill, we quickly attend to it so it doesn't escalate and lead to death. That's the same thing here. We know definitely that it might be leaked out or it might not. So what do? Safety measures. First, look around yourself. The kind of friends you have. Are they those you can confide in? If no, then again, ask yourself, can I change them? And if the answer is still a no, then sorry, but you'll have to give them a little distance. But don't avoid them. Totally. Because they might be there to help you someday, for one thing or the other. Secondly, move on to surround yourself with positive and supportive friends who understand and accept you for who you are. The ones who can support you when you're down academically, emotionally, physically, or psychologically. Note that most people won't have all these qualities, but creating a circle will help. There you'll find the advisor, the one who motivates people when they're down, the one with academic brains, the fun one, the one who's super talented and is ready to share his tactics with the others. So many characters out there, but remember to choose your friends and don't let them choose you. Aside from making close friends in school or with your peers, you could also make friends with others like your parents, siblings, family relations, spouse, and all. 4. Explore your identity. One of the most exciting aspects of this journey called adolescence is the opportunity to experiment with various interests, hobbies, and activities. Think of it like trying on different hats to see which one fits best. You might try on the hat of a musician, an artist, a writer, or an athlete. You might even try on the hat of an entrepreneur, a volunteer, or a leader. The possibilities are endless, and the process of exploration is all exhilarating. But why is experimentation so important during this phase of life? For one, it allows you to discover your strengths, weaknesses, and passions. It's like being a detective, searching for clues about who you are and what you want to do with your life. By trying new things, you gain valuable insights into your values, personalities, and interests. Experimentation also helps you build confidence and self-esteem. When you try something new and succeed, you feel a sense of accomplishment and pride. It's like leveling up in the game. You feel more capable and motivated to take on new challenges. And when you fail, you learn to cope with setbacks and develop resilience. Another benefit of experimentation is that it helps you find your tribe. When you pursue shared interests and hobbies, you meet like-minded individuals who share your passions, and just like finding a puzzle piece that fits perfectly in place, you feel a sense of belonging and connection. So how do we make the most of this experimental phase? First, maintain a childlike curiosity and openness to new experiences. Don't be afraid to try something new, even if it scares you. Second, take calculated risk. Consider the potential consequences of your actions, but don't let them hold you back. Don't let the fear hold you back. Third, reflect and evaluate your experiences. Identifying what you enjoy and what you don't. Fourth, seek guidance from mentors, teachers, or professionals in fields that interest you. And finally, stay flexible. Be willing to adjust your path as you learn and grow. The possibilities of experimentations are endless. You might explore creative pursuits like art, music, or writing. You might try sports and fitness activities like team sports, individual sports, or yoga. You might even volunteer for courses related to the environment. social justice, animal welfare, or you can join academic clubs focused on specific subjects or interests. On the second thought, starting your own business or create a product isn't a bad idea. The key is to stay open-minded, curious, and willing to take risk. Remember, experimentation is a process, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's like navigating a maze. You might hit a dead end, but you'll discover new paths and hidden treasures. As you experiment with different interests, hobbies, and activities, you'll gain valuable insights into your values, personality, and passions. You'll be able to build confidence, develop resilience, and find your tribe. And when you finally find the hat that fits you best, you'll know that you've discovered your true self. 5. Set healthy boundaries. One of the most critical areas to set limits is social media. It's like a double-edged sword. On one hand, it connects you to friends, family, and a world of information. On the other hand, it can be a breeding ground for comparison, anxiety, and FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. So how do you navigate this digital landscape? Teenagers have always experienced peer pressure. In this electronic era, social media has added another layer of peer pressure for teens. Additionally, social media has served as a way to spread misinformation to so many families during a global pandemic. It's important for parents and guardians to talk to their children about the dangers of participating in activities based on pressures from peers. The viral nature of social media challenges such as the Cinnamon Challenge and the Tide Pod Challenge can lead to unwise choices based on desire to be part of the group. The combination of social media and peer pressure can have powerful effects in this era of instant communication. The National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University found that social media plays a role in teens' decision to use drugs and alcohol. The study found that 75% of teenagers who saw pictures of teens at a party with alcohol or marijuana on social media sites, which encouraged them to do the same. Peer pressure can also encourage risky phone behavior such as sexting. This can put teens in contact with dangerous crowd, including adult predators, and cause psychological harm. You may recall a dangerous activity like the Tide Pod Challenge, which emerged through social media and peer pressure. Teens dared each other to eat Tide Pod detergent pods, which is similar to consuming poison and can have deadly effects. According to the data from the American Association of Poison Control Centers, AAPCC, the centers nationwide handled 92 cases of international exposure to laundry packets among kids, 13 to 19 in 2016 and 17 combined. And as at 2020, the Poison Control Centers had already handled over 186 cases through February 21st. In more recent months, teens and students across the country have found themselves in trouble with law enforcement after participating in social media challenges that encourage them to steal items from their schools and classrooms. Here are some tips, parents, caregivers, and guidance. One way to decrease likelihood of teens participating in risky activities is for adults to talk with them in a way that shows care. Here are some tips for discussing risky behavior with your child. You can have open and honest conversations. Find an opportunity to have a conversation when you are both calm. Ask questions in a way that lets your child know you care about them and are concerned. Some questions to consider are: have you heard about the online bottle up challenge? The one that involves each person drinking a full bottle of alcohol wine at once. What are your thoughts about it? Do you have any friends who have participated in the challenge? Have you or are you considering participating as well? What do you think would happen? Know that you must listen without judging the child. You have to seek to understand first and ask certain questions. Helps you understand your child's thoughts and feelings, and after hearing his, you could provide your thoughts in a calm and tranquil way. Try not to overreact to what they say or accuse them. Educate them from a place of concern. Give them a chance to think through the consequences themselves by asking questions that build their problem solving skills. Let your child know you believe they can be successful. As a matured individual, watching this and you feel like setting your boundaries with social media, here are some few steps. First, set a coffee for yourself. Decide on a specific time each day when you put away your devices and focus on real life, connections, or personal growth activities. It's like setting a bedtime for your phone. It needs rest too, you know. Second, be mindful of the content you consume. Unfollow or mute accounts that make you feel bad about yourself or others. Instead, follow accounts that inspire, educate, or entertain you. Think of it like curating a personalized magazine. You get to choose what goes in and what stays out. Third, establish online boundaries with friends and peers. It's okay to say no to requests or invitations that don't align with your values or goals. Remember, your online presence is an extension of your real life self. Be authentic and intentional about how you present yourself. Now, let's talk about your peer pressure. They're just like a strong current in your life. They can either pull you under if you're not careful. But with clear expectations and limits, you can learn to navigate these waters. In the journey of setting boundaries between your peers, the first warning is for you to surround yourself with positive influences, friends who support and encourage you to be your best self. After that, communicate your boundaries clearly to them. If one amongst them is pressuring you to do something that doesn't feel right, say no firmly and politely. Remember, your no is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Next, you have to focus on your goals and values. When faced with peer pressure, ask yourself, does this align with my values and goals? If the answer is no, it's easier to say no to the pressure. Establishing clear limits and expectations for yourself is really crucial during the adolescent era. By setting boundaries on social media and peer pressure, you'll be better equipped to navigate the challenges of this phase. Remember, you're the gardener of your life. Define your edges, nurture your growth, and watch yourself bloom into an amazing individual. 6. Managing emotional fluctuations. One might ask, what emotional changes should I expect during my adolescent years? To be honest, it differs per person, but it is basically divided into 3 phases: the physical, hormonal, and emotional phases. These changes are a normal part of the process known as puberty. Typically, girls begin puberty at around 8 years of age, while boys often begin puberty at around 9 years. As mentioned before, everyone is different. Your child will grow and develop at their own pace. Changes that occur during puberty may also trigger changes in one's behavior. During puberty, you may interact with family and friends differently. Emotional changes include developing a greater sense of self and identity, developing a stronger need for social connections outside your family. Some may also begin to take more sexual interest in other people, feel more conscious about the way they look, feel more empowered to take on new responsibilities and make their own decisions, seek independence in some aspects of their lives. Other teens may feel confused and frustrated when they are unable to reach their goals, and may consequently experience negative emotions. A commonly asked question is, what causes mood change during adolescence? Answering this, it's important to know that around 90% of a child's brain will develop by the time they are 5 years old. As they grow up, the number of connections in their brain are pruned. Some neural connections will become stronger, while others will weaken. Those that are strengthened are the ones that the child uses most often. This pruning changes the amount of gray matter in the child's brain. This part of the brain is involved in processing. Pruning helps the child's thought process to become more efficient. The times that the different parts of the brain mature depends on the things they control. The brain will usually mature in the following order: motion control, mobility and senses, language and orientation, complex thinking and self-control, planning and decision-making. The process of planning and decision-making is controlled by the prefrontal cortex, as this part of the brain is the last to change, and with that, the adolescent behavior may come across as impulsive, uncontrolled, and aggressive character. Thanks for staying with us to the end of this video. Hope this helped. If you have a follow-up question, feel free to comment down below and subscribe to keep the channel growing. See you in our next video.